continuing to get this thing ready for the 22 season. Well, it's still awful nose heavy. I wonder if I have any solder I can wrap on that tail. I know I do. It's just a matter of it needs some more clear on it is what it needs to bring that balance in. But I really don't want to make it weigh anymore. I guess we finished sanding on that too. We'll finish sanding on that. Maybe I'll put a little super fill on that thing. Is this 320? 180? It's 320 here. Well, I'm going to demonstrate the way the way I bring up a finish. I think it's going to get a little red stripe on the top of this, right along that line. Hopefully Saturday's flying session will help straighten everything out, so I can, after the session, we'll go over to John's and paint this rudder. That feels good. Pretty surprising after that little episode that this is all that happened. Good evening, Alan. Have to do something here. I don't know what. Need my little block here. Watched the live stream on Joe Nall. It wasn't live, but they did it live, just like I did. Kind of wish I was there. It's a hell of a place. This little repair will show you how forgiving dope is. because you will not be able to see this repair when it's finished. If it was something else, some other kind of paint, you'd have a problem. I got another little issue on the bottom. I think I'll finish too. I'll fix. About got it. I'm moving the CG back 3/8 of an inch. I don't think it's quite far enough. I think it needs to go back another 1/8 or 1/4. About got it. I'd say that was a pretty low inverted pullout, wouldn't you? So what I'll do is I'll put a coat of dope on this rudder and I'll re-tissue the rudder. Get some more sandpaper. 320. Yeah. Tomorrow night I'll brush some dope on this. Now, I'm going to sand this and get this ready. I'm also going to work on polishing this thing, show you how I bring up the shine. But seems like all I do lately is sand. That feels pretty good, can't feel it. let's see, the stencil itself there. I think I'll be bringing another airplane out with me. So I got 2 airplanes to fly. While I work on this one. Okay, that's enough on that. Hey, Jim. Oh yeah, repair will be perfect. Yeah, it was a bummer. I hit the ground. My mistake. I didn't check the center of gravity. You know, I made this airplane 2 ounces lighter, and the more that the weight of the airplane goes up, the farther back the CG is. Well, 2 ounces lighter, that really put the CG way up here, and I should have known when I took off that it was kind of sluggish on the handle on the upright side. I didn't think much about it. I pulled into a reverse wing over. I was just going to do a pattern, and when I came down on the other side and started to turn, it just sunk because it didn't have any center of gravity's off. So now what I did was I had the other muffler on there that was an ounce and a quarter, 1.2 or 1 whatever it was, and I put the tongue muffler on it, so it took an ounce off the nose. It's 54 and a quarter now, and that moved the CG back 3/8 of an inch. But I don't know that that's going to be far enough. I still might have to add more paint behind the center of gravity. 57 ounces might be the correct flying weight for this airplane. So if that's the case, I'll just keep adding clear until it's 57 ounces, and well, I'll know Saturday if it needs to be 57 ounces or not. Might need to be, because I lighten up the muffler, it might need to be 56 ounces. But I can tell you this, center of gravity makes a big difference. I have a question. Your plane sits nose up where John sits pretty level on the ground. So tell me the difference in the takeoffs and stuff. It makes no difference. I hold the wheels on the ground until I got a quarter of a lap, and then, he holds the wheels on the ground till he got a quarter of a lap. It really doesn't matter. Yeah, I'll go ahead and tissue that rudder again. Blend it in. Okay, I'm going to show you the sand out and why I'm going to sand it this way. There's not much paint on this, so you got to be careful. I have 4 grits of sandpaper. I have 1500, 2000, I have, 2000, 3000, and 5000. So if you look at this flap right here, it's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of like grainy or whatever. We're going to sand that with 1500 to level it out. Then I'm going to go to 2000, 3000, then 5000, then polish it. And we'll see how that comes out. Thanks. Okay, so I need my little sponge again. It's right here. Let's take the auto director off. Go back. Okay, you see how this looks here? Well, it's going to look a lot different here in a minute. So we'll take the sponge, 1500. Shoot, I got to go out to the car. Damn. Okay, give me 1 minute. I got to get the Windex. It's in the back of the car. Got my order in last night for another 5 gallons of fuel, $100. Okay, as we settle in for a little bit of sanding. This should come up real nice, even though it's kind of grainy or whatever, it'll be very shiny. Stay off the edges. If you see any blue coming up, you stay off the blue. See the water, I got the edges of the blue there. Water's turning kind of blue. We're just knocking the big tops off of this stuff. And you don't think 1500 will cut? I could sand it right down to bare wood real easy. Yeah, Jim, you could have said something last night. You know, I'm pretty thick-skinned. It's one of them deals. When you couldn't have said something to me is what the year that I crashed the Thunderbolt down in Memphis that you were judging. I was not a happy camper that year. That's been let's see, this is 2022, 15 years ago. Okay, so that was just a quick block out, and I'm looking at the angle of the thing, and I can still see some shiny spots in it. So we'll hit it one more time with 1500. But 1500 is pretty aggressive, trust me. The Zen of Sanding. 11 watchers, 31 views. 6 on now. I can't tell how the stupid numbers work on that. We got to do this over the whole airplane. We'll just pick the flap for tonight to get this one done. Takes me all season to polish an airplane. Because it'll get it a couple of times. Okay, that was 1500. Now we're going to go to 2000. That got it pretty good. So it's all flat now. The whole thing is dull. Paint's not quite old enough to bone out, but we'll get it to shine. Now we'll go to 2000. It's $100 for 5 gallons. $20 a gallon. We make it. I should say Bill makes it. It's the exact same blend that Sig uses, Sig Champion, Blues Brew. You know, it's 10, 10, 10, and 70% methanol. Where are the scissors? Come on. Well, I hate to do this, but I'll do it anyway. I hate tearing sandpaper. I'd rather cut it. Okay, so that's that one. Where did the sponge get off to? 6,000. Where did the sponge go? Come on. I'm gonna have to clean this crap up again. Because there's no place to put anything, this thing gets so cluttered you can't find anything. Throw these out. Oh, sponges right there on the elevator. Right where I left it. Okay, we're at 2,000 now. If you look at it, it's gotten real flat now. Jim, I can tell you this, when I go Saturday, I will not be doing a reverse wing over for my first maneuver with it. Yeah, that was a front row airplane. I felt really bad taking it home in the back in pieces. So what I'm doing here, let's see if I can bring this up, is I'm looking at it at an angle here, and you see the shiny spots? I don't know if it shows up on camera. There's a few shiny spots up on the top here, but this is all nice and flat, like it's flat white. And that's what I'm looking for over the whole entire flap. So I'll come back and I'll sand this up here again, and we'll get that flat white. And that's what you want. So, what do I do with that there now? You won't believe when I hit it with the 10,000 polish. So the sanding sequence is 15, 2, 3, 5, and 10. Yeah, that whole ride back to St. Louis was, oh man, it was a bummer. About as bad as when I came back from Oklahoma with the jet in the back in pieces, where the wind got me. Okay, so it's pretty much flat. We'll hit it with 3,000 now because there's not a whole lot of paint on this, so I don't want to go too far overboard with it. Okay, this is a piece of 3,000. You see there, 3,000. Remember, I started sanding all this stuff with 36 grit. It's all, you know, use the higher grits to save time. You don't, so you're going to end up with 10,000. It's like polishing with, well, it is polishing with toothpaste. But you will see a difference in this flap. It'll be like a mirror. Okay, that's 3,000. We'll wipe the grit off of that. Shine is starting to come up already. Yeah. Now I hit it with 5,000. See, this is 5,000. I use two different kinds of rubbing compound too. I use for the first rub is 7,000 ultimate compound, and for the final polish I use 10,000 grit finesse it by 3M. Now you can do this by hand, but I'm going to polish it with a Snap-on machine buffer. I've got to do this process to the whole airplane, top and bottom. Okay, that's 5,000. Let's see how it looks. Starting to shine. Now you may wonder, why does the paint shine? Well, butyrate is plastic. And that's why I like using this to Snap-on buffer. And when I bought it, it was $500. Now it's probably $700. 2 batteries and a charger. Anyway, so we'll get the ultimate compound on it. You don't need a lot. Don't drown it in compound. Oh, shoot. I splurted it on the floor. I gotta wipe that up. It hit the chair, didn't hit the floor. Now, before I got this Snap-on buffer, I did this all by hand. I'm just spreading the compound around now. You think that's as fast as it goes, but that's first gear. Second gear is... I can't even put it on that fast. It'll throw the pad off. Okay, you gotta stop. It's starting to burn through. Okie dokie. Don't want to go too far. Okay, that was 7,000. Let's look at this in the... Pretty damn shiny. Let's go with the 10,000, see what it does. The Finesse polish that I use is 3M 39003 3M Finesse Machine 2 polish. It's about $28 a pint. Yeah. But the reason why this works so good is it has petroleum in it, and it helps the paint melt. You want to get the paint hot so that it kind of melts together. Alright. Wipe it off. And we hit it with the magic sauce. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that looks pretty good. And the weird thing about dope is the more you rub it, the shinier it'll get. I might have to add some more paint on that. Except I don't know, it's probably painted enough. The only way you're going to get them this weight is to not have any paint on them. I'm looking at it in the light. Let's see if we can see the reflection off of it. I'm going to try to get you to see what I see. If you look at it into the light and you move it back and forth, you can see the reflection. And when you can see the clock or the wall or whatever, you know you got it. So that's basically done, that one. Maybe I need to do a little bit more on the inboard side here, but I'm going to have to put a piece of cardboard up here to keep the bumping wheel from hitting the fuselage. Can you guys see that okay? Do you see that reflection? Or the other side doesn't have that. you can see it. Okay, so what I need to do is we need to get this piece of stuff here and kind of stick it in here to protect the fuselage and to bring that buffer up to the fuselage. I got it. Do not hold the buffer in one spot. You'll burn the paint. If you start feeling it dragging, the paint is getting too hot. Now we can do the Zenith sanding on the stab back here, I guess. I see the shine, that's good. Whole airplane will look like that. Even the rudder that's skinned up. Matter of fact, it'll look like that come Saturday. It'll have the paint on it anyway. I put clear dope on it and fly it. I don't need to have it painted to fly, but I need to have it sealed. Because that is bare wood on top there. Let me zoom in on that repair so you can see exactly what was done. So we want to crop and zoom. The paper is starting to scab off here, so I got to get some dope on this. But you can't feel that. That's where I flatten that out with a 80 grit. Then I glued a piece of 3/8 on top, lengthwise. I used CA. I didn't want to use CA because it leaves a hard line on it. So in order to, I'm not supposed to tell you this because one of the appearance judges is watching. In order to hide that hard line that's going to be there no matter what, because that's CA, is I'm going to tissue the whole rudder. The whole rudder get tissued. I'll spray this rudder white. I'll put the XL back on in the same spot. And I'll tip the top of that rudder with a red stripe. Right on that line. Poof, gone. And then clear it and rub it out. You'll never see it. Okay, let's work on sanding. Let's see what that looks like there. We need to crop and zoom out just a little bit. Okay, this is the same way. You could kind of feel these lines. For some reason, the appearance judges don't want to feel any lines. So these will go away with the 1,500, 2,000, 3,000, 5,000, 7,000, 10,000 regiment. These will all go away. You won't be, I mean, you can barely feel them, but they're buried under the clear, or should be anyway. I think I'm going to, because it's not as pitted as that flap was, I'll just go start at 2,000 with this. Now I use Windex as a lubricant. You can use warm water with a couple of drops of soap, dish soap in it. You can use wax and grease removers. Wendy's like Sikkens real well. I think that was it. It doesn't much matter, but remember, you got to keep this paper lubed up. That's what the soap is for. And I use Windex because it has alcohol in it, plus detergent. But the wetter you can keep it, the better the paper will cut. Okay, we got that flattened out. You can feel it and you can hear it. There's a spot right here, it's grinding. Over here it's slick, over here it's got a spot. Gotta stop. You gotta know when to hold them and know when to fold them. They got pretty slick quick. So I'm looking at it from the side to look down into the paint job to see how many highs and lows there are. If I had another 4 or 5, if I had another quart of clear on this thing, I could polish this thing up like you wouldn't believe, like a diamond. But there's only 1 quart of dope on this total. That's it. There's not a... Kenny Stevens has a gallon of dope, gallon of clear coat on his airplane. Yeah, it's beautiful, but that thing's 70 plus ounces, 74 ounces. That airplane looks like a baby grand piano, but that ain't for me. Okay, let's go with I get this trimmed out again. This thing will be a lot of fun to fly. At 54 ounces. Hopefully I don't have to add all that paint on it to get it to fly right. However, my feelings are, I'm going to take it out Saturday and adjust the center of gravity. I've already moved it back 3/8 of an inch. I'll get some solder and wrap it around the tail wheel. And get it to fly right. Then take the solder off the tail wheel and see how much I had to add. And if I had to add an ounce, we'll put another coat of clear on it. Another 2 coats of clear on it. And that'll bring the weight up. That way the weight is not concentrated in one spot. It'll be let's put it this way. I'll add the solder to the tail wheel until it flies right. Mark the center of gravity, and I'll add clear until the center of gravity is back where it belongs. Because that will be, not only will it help the appearance of the airplane, it will spread the weight over the whole airframe instead of in one concentrated spot. Because when you concentrate it in one spot, I know there's guys that think I'm nuts or whatever, but a body in motion tends to stay in motion unless acted upon like an equal and opposite source. And that one concentrated spot is going to want to keep moving forward. Because it could use some more clear to make it really stunning. But I'm more worried about flying, the fly weight, than I am about appearance. Well, that elevator really flattened up nice. Let's see. We've had 52 minutes on. No super chats, only 7 likes and 18 watchers. What's going on? You got a spot there I need to sand out. Get all these, you can feel these, so you're gonna have to sand all this out. I'm just glad I didn't hurt it any worse than I did. I would have, all that work would have been for nothing. So we'll take it easy the next go around. That flying during the week, I'm really not up for it. After working all day and then you go out there and not really sharp on my game at the end of the day. It'll be fine. If you guys watch that video and see what I did, low pull out, drag the rudder, break the prop, you could hear the engine vibrating. Immediately ditch it and kill that engine, because you'll shake the nose off your airplane. Like I said, I can't remember that guy's name, but it was a beautiful white Crossfire. Very nicely finished. Electric motor, had a prop strike on takeoff and threw one blade off of it. And within a half a lap, that airplane exploded. It literally exploded in midair. And that's all I could think about. But fortunately for me, it broke both sides of the prop off. It made a 13-inch, a 10-inch prop. But I got it ditched as soon as I could. That flattened out pretty nice. So I'll polish this up and then we'll call it a day. Hang it back on the wall till tomorrow. Everybody says, well, you can't paint over that because you buffed it. Negative. It's wax and grease remover and shoot right over it. Stay off the edges. Keep the buffer moving, because if you don't, you'll burn it. And if you get on an edge, you'll burn it. Flip some goop over there. Okay, that was 7,000 grit. Now we use the petroleum-based Finesse It. You can hand polish this stuff too, Finesse It, no problem. It smells like gasoline. I mean, you can tell it's got something in it. Of course, that's why it's so expensive. $28 a pint. And that's before all this crazy inflation hit, so I don't know what it is now. Right before the gnats, I'll hit it again with 5,000. I won't say anything. I'll hit it with 5,000 and finesse it. No more rubbing compound. Yeah. Now the magic sauce. I might try some porcelain. Yep, shine came right up. Let me look at this side here. Much better. So we're going to be Saturday at the field again. You'll get to see some more trim flights. Hopefully not hit the ground again. If it does, it's back onto the Tucker for the year, but I'd sure like to fly this one. And if the Tucker hit the ground, I got the Continental. If that hits the ground, I'll have to go to St. Louis and pick up another airplane, either the High Roller or the Monado or the other Junar I got there. Okay, well, let's see, we've been on an hour and 3 minutes. Any questions? Good evening, Gary. You're at the tail end. You can see the nose that really shining here. Of course, I got to go over it again. We need to get the Dr. Pepper shining real good, and the canopy. Just a lot of work. Man, I wish it was more tail heavy. I think I'm going to have to add an ounce. At least an ounce to get it to be tail heavy enough. Alright, you guys, before you get out of here, make sure to hit the thumbs up button. I appreciate you guys watching. I hope you learn from me. Don't do like I do. Check your CG. Should have known better. God, I made it 2 ounces lighter. Got to be more nose heavy. Yeah, hit the ground. Low pull out. Way it goes. Didn't hurt it though. It'll be live this weekend. It survived. Skinned the rudder. Broke the prop. Alright guys. Fair winds, tight lines. Let's go, Brandon. See ya.